Hey everybody, coming at you from the gear room, and this is the video that I was promising y'all from the last time we were with you on survival kits and ideas. Now, to make sure that this is a good video, because it is going to be cram-packed full of ideas, because I've just been literally pulling stuff off the shelves and thinking about things for 2 weeks. And so, in no certain order, everything's out of order because everything's just thrown on the table. And I'm just going to start showing kits and showing ideas and talking about gear and talking about ideas and giving my opinion. So, therefore, with all this going on, I have Nick.
Hello.
I have Nick, the cameraman, to kind of follow along. That way I don't have to constantly walk over there and move the camera up and down. Okay. So, all right. Now, to start with, hiking, camping, backpacking, and bushcraft. Okay, that's not a survival situation. All right, because most of the time you're going to have a whole backpack full of gear. Okay, so even if things get bad, if they get ugly, you're going to have a backpack full of gear. It's not going to be bad. Okay, a survival situation is something different. When you have no gear, you're separated from your gear, you're lost. You get you're a hunter, you're out hunting, you're in your tree stand, and then a big blizzard comes through. You're out looking for a fishing hole, you get lost. You leave the main camp. You've set up your camp with your gear from your backpack, and you've gone trekking off exploring, and then you get lost. That's about the #1 scenario right there. So, with that said, let's get down to a little bit of philosophy on survival kits. And to me, at what point is a survival kit so small that it's ineffective, that there's not enough in there? And then at what point is a survival kit so big, does it get too big to where you don't want to carry it with you every time? See what I'm saying? There's a fine line in there, and you have to decide between those things. Pan down there to the end, Nick, and look at all that. You see all that gear down there on that end of the table? Those are the larger kits. Okay, those are the kits that you're going to be putting in your truck, your Jeep, your car, your in your kayak, the back of your kayak, in your canoe. Attach it to your four-wheeler. You know, those are the kind of a larger kits. Okay, and what we're going to start out right here with is some of the ideas for the smaller kits, and those are the ones that you're willing to put in your cargo pockets of your pants, or you're just willing to strap it to the small of your back, or you're willing to carry it like a pocketbook even. So let's get into the smaller survival kits. Okay, a kit is too small to be effective. Okay, now without insulting other YouTubers and other people's ideas and opinions, the good old Altoid survival kit. Okay, I'm not going to go off on a tangent on it, but these things, if you believe that this could be a survival kit, then I urge you to take one of these and go out in the woods and spend the night with the contents of this kit. Okay, and don't do it on a sunny day. Do it when it's raining and cold and snowing, or just 100 degrees and there's no water anywhere. Okay, now these things, they're okay as a part of a kit. Like, for example, right here, okay, first aid kit, okay, right here, fire kit, okay, fishing kit, okay, which fishing in itself is a good way of passing the time, but it's not really necessary because it's not like you're going to die in 1 or 2 days. But the 3 of them could make up a kit, okay, and you could say that if you wanted to, you could make up a certain amount of kits, and then you could find a pouch to fit them in so that you didn't have to carry them in your pockets. And then what you could do then is, let's say you put it in like I think this is a magazine pouch, I think, with the MOLLE straps. And so what you could do then is you could have like a couple of these on your pack. So you're in camp and you're like, okay, somebody told me there's a cave over here, so I'm going to walk away from camp, okay? Well, you're like, oh, I'm not going to get lost, so I'm not going to bring anything. Well, that's how survival situations happen. If you've got something like this, then what you can do is have these strapped to your pack, and then when you go to leave camp, grab 2 of these and put them on your belt, okay? That's just one of those things right there now. So that's one thing right there. Now, what's in your survival kit? First off, for one thing, in certain areas you need water. Okay, so you either need water or you need the means of getting water. If it's like a desert-like situation, carry your water. Don't depend on it being there. We've got some canteens down there, some 2-liter canteens, some 2-quart and some 1-quart. And then you've got these pilot's flasks. These things are great because what you can do with them is get into the habit. Now, I always wear boots and pants, and see, they've got these big cargo pockets. So what you can do is always fill one of these up and always carry it with you in that cargo pocket right there, because these cargo pockets are huge. Depending on what you want to put in them, I mean, they'll even hold as much as a tarp. So your actual cargo pants can be the means of carrying your survival kit. Okay, so, okay, you need to carry water. All right, now, machetes and axes up here. Axes, hatchets. Let's reach up here and grab one of them. Okay, let's say you've got an axe or a machete. These are fantastic bushcraft tools. Okay, they're great. Bring them to camp. Bring them while you're bushcrafting. You're out there, you're chopping things, you're playing around, you're building shelters, you're doing fires. Okay, you get a little bit tired, you rest. All right, go eat something, whatever.
Drink some coffee.
Yeah, drink some coffee. But the thing is, when you hike away from camp, I didn't put that in there right. When you hike away from camp, here's the thing: are you willing to carry stuff like this? Look at the amount of weight in there. Look at the amount of weight in there. And you also got to think, in a survival situation, your mind's not going to be right. You may be hot, you may be sweaty, you may be weak, tired, wet, covered in mud, covered in snow. There's no telling. So I think you can get by without the serious tools. The much safer bet is a small knife and a saw. Okay, now we're going to go over saws in some of these smaller kits here. All right, your best bet, like I said, is a knife and a saw. Let's see where we have right here. And a lot of times I will wear a neck knife with me. Now, if I've got a neck knife and it's not attached to my belt, I'm going to wear it the whole time I'm at camp. Now, when I'm hiking, I'm going to put it in my shirt so that I don't lose it. Okay, so I've got my knife with me at all times. Take that saw, put it in your cargo pocket. Okay, those are good tools. You will not get hurt using a saw. You can make a makeshift shelter if you have to, if you didn't bring a decent kit. Or you can cut firewood, because fire will cook your food, purify your water, keep you warm, and signal others. Fire is very important. Very important. Unless you're in the desert. And I'm not in the desert. I don't live in the desert. When you carry a knife, if you can bring a ferro rod with your knife, that's great. There's your fire. There's your fire and your cutting tool. Okay. Now, without insulting and making bushcrafters really angry, this is not a survival knife. You want to know why? All knives cut. Okay, these are 2 Moores. Now, if you look at this, I didn't know that. Oh, you learned something.
Oh yeah, knives can cut.
Yeah. Now, a Moore Classic. Okay, no finger guard, round handle, all polished up, smooth and nice. Good bushcraft knife. Now, if you were weak and you didn't have a good grip, your electrolytes are low, you haven't had any food, you're covered in mud, it's snowing on you, it's a blizzard, that's not a good knife, because your hand can just, you'll lose your grip and you can just slip over onto it. So that is a bushcraft knife. Okay, you're going to want something along the lines of this that has more of a grip on it and a place to keep your hand from sliding down on it. Okay, right? So that's the kind of knife. You want a knife that you can use while you're tired, hungry, cold, weak. Okay? Because a lot of times whenever you're cold, you can't even move your hand enough to touch your thumb to your fingers. And at that point, you desperately need the right kind of knife. Or, SOG makes this neat little jewel here. Okay? This is a knife. Okay? It's called a SOG revolver. I don't know if they still make it or not. But you mash a button and flip it over and it becomes a saw. Okay? So that in itself, this is not a survival kit, but a huge addition to your survival kit. Okay? So, and it's got a loop that's so big it'll fit any belt on earth. So, something like that doesn't weigh a whole lot. Wear it on your belt when you leave camp. That's a part of your survival kit. Okay? Now, after I've talked about some of the things that you should have with you, knife and a saw and some water, and we're talking about the size of kits, what we're fixing to do is we're fixing to actually go over some kits and the effectiveness of what size they are. So, this is a kit, this is a kit, this is a kit, this is a kit, and this is a kit. Now I could just go on for days and days and days and days, okay? And there's other kits down on the other end of the table, but we have 3, 4, 5, we have 5 mini kits here. And what these kits are is I'm going to open up each kit and go through the contents of them and explain to you why this is so much better than something like this, and why this is so much better than something along this size. This is what I call a rider kit, rider driver kit. So this is on your ATV, your kayak, your canoe, in your car, wherever, okay? Because but something like this, you're not willing, it's a mind thing. You won't be willing to carry this with you when you leave camp every time. But something like this, more along the lines, you will, okay? So we're going to open up and run through each of these kits. All right? We're actually going to get into the mini survival kits, the ones that you carry with you, okay? Now I want you to look at the size. Before we get into that, I want you to look at the size of this kit here, okay? This is a first aid kit. This is a fairly comprehensive, complete first aid kit. You wear it like a fanny pack, okay? Now the thing is this is something that you'll strap to your waist and carry it with you while you're out hiking, all right? But wouldn't it be nice if you had a first aid kit and a survival kit that was roughly the same size, okay? It is possible. Now, it's not going to be quite as comprehensive as a kit, but let me show you something here real quick. And I'm going to make more of these. These are the ones that I've been working on for a while. This is a decent kit. Now what I'm doing is I'm making them out of, these are red cotton bags, okay? And in a pinch, the fact that it's a bag, you could always pre-filter water through one of these. But what this is my idea behind this one, is what I've done is I've had this to where you can either have this in your survival kit or in your pocket, okay? This one you can put in your cargo pocket. This one you can actually put up here, okay? Now, because it's very, very small. Now, the idea behind this is what I wanted to develop is a one-armed, one-hand use survival kit, first aid kit. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull that out of your pocket, and then it's got elastic on it, okay? It's got elastic on it. It's a loop sewn on, and what you're going to do is you'll have the ability then to dump the contents out and get to them if you only have one hand, okay? So you've got all kinds of stuff here, and you want the heaviest stuff on the bottom, okay? Because that way the lighter stuff will get pushed out from the top, all right? So that right there, I'm not going to put that stuff back in there, but I just wanted to show you because that is part of a first aid kit that you want in your kit. Now, one of these little kits right here, what this is this is just a little bag with a piece of elastic on it, sewn on, just like that, okay? Now this kit is small enough that it could fit into any of these, okay? But I've only got one of these, and it has the bare minimum, okay? The absolute bare minimum that you would need for a trip, okay? But it's better than nothing because if you think about it, I'm pretty sure the contents of this kit would fill up one of these. So I would rather have this in one of these. Okay. So let's look. I'm going to start pulling all the stuff out of here. And I'm going to leave everything out of here. And then I'm going to take a month to clean this mess up. Now, what this is a binocular case. Okay. And it has a place where you can strap it on your belt. Okay. Now in general, these things right here they're going to be kind of cumbersome if you hold them on the side. So a lot of these mini survival kits are meant to put on your belt right here on your back. Right here like a fanny pack, okay? Because that way they won't be in the way. But you have to be in the habit of carrying them, okay? If you're not going to carry a backpack. If you're going to go hiking off looking for a cave, you know, or where Bear Grylls attacked an elephant or a secret fishing hole, you need to carry a kit. So let's look in the binocular kit here. Let's open this up now. Let's take a look here. Now what we have in here, this is a fairly complete kit for its size. You're not going to have everything in here. So what have I got in here? Okay.
Not binoculars.
Not binoculars. I have 3 hanks of paracord. Okay. I have a ferro rod. There's my fire. Okay. I have a saw. This is a very small saw, okay, because saws are very safe. I have in here a knife, but I don't have to have that in there because I could wear it like a neck knife. Okay. So there you go. Let's look at that. We got ferro rod, paracord, saw, and a knife. Now what else have we got in here? Ooh, we have a poncho. A plastic hooded poncho. So you can wear that in the rain, or that can be your shelter. Okay, so let's lay that there. I have a compass so that I can find my way out. Now, regardless of if I know how to use a compass or not, I can certainly follow the same direction out so that I'm not walking in circles, I'll be going in a straight line. Because a lot of people nowadays are going to use their cell phone and their GPS. Well, what happens when you hike off and after a day your battery's dead? Okay, this will save you. Okay, that belongs in a survival kit. We have some reflective tape, good for signaling, or good for putting this emergency blanket with this hooded poncho to make shelter, to get you out of the wind and the rain. And then you can build a super shelter out of that. What else we got in here? We have a whistle for signaling, and then we have a little bitty light right here, which could come in handy, okay, on a lanyard so that you can wear it. What else do we have in here? Okay, that's all that we have right there. So, I want you to look at all this stuff here and think to myself, is this more comprehensive than what I could put into here? Yes, it's a lot more comprehensive, okay? So let's pile all this stuff up right here. I'm not going to put it back. That's one of the kits. Now, let's look at another kit. This is good because if it's winter time and it's going to be cold, if you go out there with this and get into a survival situation in the winter, you'll die, period. Okay, no ifs, ands, or buts. All right.
Nicely put.
And well, I mean, it's the truth. It's like I said. I'm going to repeat this over and over and over because when we're talking about mini survival kits, this is what people think about. And I urge you, take one of these kits, everything you can put into one of these, and go out and spend the night in the woods. Okay? And just like Morris Kohansky used to say, and I don't care because it's not going to be me that suffers. So, this is some sort of a molly pouch, okay? And it's got 2 rings up here so you could use some sort of, if you wanted to, you could hang it around your side like a pocketbook or a sling bag, you know, with a strap, a common strap like that. Or you could use the molly webbing on the back to put it on your belt, okay? So, this is small. You won't even notice it. Put it on your belt, on your backside. So let's unzip this and see what we have stuffed in here. Okay. So we have some cordage, 50 feet of cordage. Okay. We have in here, what is this? We have 2 extra large reflective blankets. One could be a part of your shelter. You could wrap up in the other one if you had to. Okay. So we have that and we have that. This I urge you to get at Christmas time. Okay, this is a Christmas tree disposable bag. And what it is, when you're done with your Christmas tree, you put this over your tree so that the needles don't get all over your house. And this is a gigantic bag. It's this will cover an 8-foot tall tree. It's a giant bag. Okay, get as many as you can around Christmas time.
It's not gonna be kind of like a giant mosquito net.
Yeah, pretty much. Now what this is a compressed mylar vest with a hood. Now they don't make these anymore. This is a ProTech vest by MPI Outdoors. And I bought 3 of these and I haven't opened them up because when you open this up, it's not just like a mylar blanket. This thing expands into a waffle shape. It's about 1 inch thick. And this is a full vest with a hood. Okay, so you've got everything you need here for cold weather in a little bag just like this, okay? Now, some of the other stuff, let's say, for example, this is attached to your belt, okay, in the winter time. Okay, fine and dandy. I've got all this stuff that I can use to build a shelter. Well, in your other pocket, you know, if you're going to be prepared, you're going to bring like some bags of some nuts and things to eat so that you have a little bit of nourishment, or maybe some dried pineapples or bananas. and then a thing of water in your other cargo pocket. Okay, so you do all that, and then hopefully you'll be wearing a neck knife or carrying a knife. Okay, but that is a mini shelter kit for like winter time. Okay, so let's move that over. Now let's look at another kit. Anyway, so we got 3 more kits here. This is an old U.S. Army medic bag, medic kit, because it's got the medical emblem on it. It's an Alice clip, so you can put it on a GI pistol belt. So let's take a look at what's in here. Now, like I said, this is so small that you'll be willing to carry it with you. Okay, strap it to your belt, you'll carry it with you, you won't leave it behind. So let's look and see what's in here. All right, this little thing is a head net. Okay, now I'm going to talk about this for a minute while we're here. Doesn't weigh much, doesn't take up much room, it was in the kit. Now, part of you being miserable, you don't want to make it even more miserable. So what you want to do is, let's say you're the kind of person that wears a hat all the time. Now, a hat protects your head from the sun, protects your ears from the sun. If you have to go through thorns, briars, and things, you don't want to poke an eye out. You pull the hat down and charge through the thorns to keep from putting out an eye. If you have one of these, what you can do with it is that brim will keep the net off of your face. Okay? So this in itself, with a pair of gloves, could almost be survival in the summertime, because what you'd be worried about is the mosquitoes. Okay, which leads me to something else I'll talk about in a minute about mosquitoes. Okay, so,
or you could just have me standing around and you won't get bit once.
yeah,
they'll all go to me.
you. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, okay, we have in here a mosquito head net. Okay, it was in a little bag. Okay, so let's lay that right there. Now, what else do we have in here? We have a light. Okay, now a light is not only so that you can see, but if you have brought with you a knife, it can also be a means of signaling. Can you see that right there, how I'm moving it around?
Oh yeah, that's blinding me off camera.
Okay, well see, that's one reason why right there why it's good to have a polished blade instead of a black tactical blade. Okay, so that's a light. Okay, light's handy. Okay, we got a net, we got a light. This is a complete shelter. This is a tube tent. It comes with the cordage, and I think, here's the box. Insert survival reflective tent. Okay, you're not going to be comfortable and you're not going to be happy, but you won't die. That's the idea behind survival. This is not camping, this is not bushcraft, this is not backpacking. You're not supposed to enjoy yourself, you're supposed to just not die. Okay, so that is a tent with cordage. Okay, that's in the kit. And here, this is a pouch that came from, it's a waxed canvas pouch, and it came from Colorado Bushcraft, and it is the perfect size for 2 packs of water. Okay, but what this is emergency drinking water. Okay, and it is meant for being on boats. Okay, it's maybe a U.S. Coast Guard requirement or something. I'm not real sure. Oh, U.S. Coast Guard approved. Okay, now here's the thing. Okay, they say you can go for 3 days without water and you won't die, but a lot of people are partially dehydrated all the time anyway, because all they drink is Coke and coffee and tea, and they don't never drink water. So if you're already partially dehydrated, as far as I'm concerned, these packs of water, 1 a day, would be enough to keep you from dropping dead and to keep you from your organs shutting down. Okay, so this is handy for somebody that doesn't carry a canteen or a pilot's flask. Okay, and then you can put these things in a nice waxed canvas pouch like this, so that they don't get punctured. Okay, so that's in the kit. Two things of water right there. Now what's left in the kit? Okay, all right, kit's empty. What's left in the kit is something that I like to call triple packed. Okay, triple packed fire. And what triple packed fire is your fire is triply protected. Okay, so I'm going to unscrew this container. Okay, that's one measure of protection. Okay, I'm going to take the cork out. That is the second measure of protection. Okay, and inside here I have a little piece of mylar, alright, wrapped around my third measure of protection, which is a plastic baggie with matches. Okay, so these matches are triply protected. Okay, so if you're in an environment where you desperately may need fire, this is a good way of carrying fire. Now, the beauty of this is, so that you don't have to dip into this, you can take this bag and you can pre-filter water through your t-shirt or whatever cloth you have. You fill this bag up with water, and then you lay it out in the sun. Okay, you lay this mylar out like here, and you take this bag of water and you lay the water right here, okay, in direct sunlight. 6 hours later, you can drink this water safely. Okay, 6 hours is the minimum. So, with this system, if you don't have any water, you don't have a canteen, you drank your pouches, or you're saving them for when you're so weak you can't move. With this method, you can drink this bag of water every 6 to 8 hours, or a bag a day. Okay, so that is another thing. That is another neat little survival trick for water. And that right there, just literally, you can put a piece of mylar in a plastic bag in anything. And as a matter of fact, you can have 3 pieces of mylar in 3 bags, and you can lay them out in the sun and you'll have 3 bags of water. So that is a very, 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 very handy method right there. So let's look at this again. Okay, these are the contents of this kit. Okay, this is it. And all these kits are aimed towards different areas, different climates, different environments. Okay, and if you wanted to, there was room. You could have put a pack of nuts in there, 2 packs of nuts in there. You know, put a can of chocolate in there if you're, you know, worried about your sugar levels. So anyway, all right. So let's get this over and go to these others here. All right. Hope y'all are enjoying this. How many minutes are we at, Nick?
And
the next 2 here are pouches by the Hidden Woodsman. Okay, they're really good heavy-duty canvas pouch, and they have these things on the side. Now, with these things on the side, what you can do with them is you can run your belt through it and have it right here like a small fanny pack, or if you want to, you can take just a common strap that like comes off of bags, and then you could just carry it like a man purse, just like that right there. Some people don't like things flopping around, but a lot of times that'll make it easier to carry. You'll be more willing to carry it than to have to strap it to your belt. Okay, so let's look at the contents of that kit. Let's look at the bigger kit. See what's in here. What do we have in here? We have, okay, a compass. That way, like I said, you'll be able to follow a straight line out of there. And it's like if you remembered yourself, did you go north, did you go south? Just follow the compass out opposite. Okay, so you've got a compass in here. What do you got in here? We got some paracord. All right, that way you can set up, if you wanted to set up some kind of a shelter of some kind, you do that old trick where you put the rock through the tarp and then wrap around it. Ferro rod, and inside this is a ultimate survival technology ferro rod, and this is one of those ones that on one side it has the ferro rod and the striker inside there protected, and it's orange so you don't lose it. And in the back here for a wet environment or snowy environment, in the back you have tinder fire tabs stored in there that'll stay dry. Okay, so you have a ferro rod and a compass, and you have cordage. I don't know what that was. It came out. Oh, that was where the dust off that ferro rod. And then in here I have a small knife. This is an old open nail. All right, a knife is handy. And then I have a silky pocket boy saw. Very, very safe to use no matter how tired I am or if my hands are wet or cold or whatever. So I could use this and the cordage to build some kind of a shelter. And then I could crawl inside this. This is a bivy sack. This is a Mylar bivy sack. Very small, very lightweight. They sell all different kinds on Amazon under all different kind of names. This is by Survival Frog. So it's like a little Mylar sleeping bag. And then in here, what we have left We have a magnesium bar. And try not to buy the cheap, junky ones from China because there's not much magnesium in them. This is a genuine Domes, a real one. And if you can, let's see, I had another one here. I don't know where I put it. If you can, put a piece of orange paracord on it so that you can find it. And then in here, just like the other one, I have a whistle for signaling, and then I have a light so that I can see. And in this case, let's see if we can do this with the saw. Shine a light on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can signal somebody that way, okay? Or if you want to, you can bring a mirror, but a mirror's extra, takes up extra space, and you got to be kind of careful with it. So this is a mini survival kit. It's not really as big of a kit as you would care for, but there is a lot here to work with, a lot more than what you would see in one of these.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I was going to add, most of those Moras are kind of like mirrors themselves, so that replaces your need for a mirror.
Yeah, it does. And you
mirror
shine
and a knife
a light
in one.
on it, hold it up to the sun, flick it back and forth, and it's that twinkle, that sparkle that people see that garners their attention. So let me move all this over here. I'll put all these. I need to go through these kits anyway. Oh, one thing I want to say: the reason that food is not necessarily in the kits is because these kits I can put like one in a kayak and one, on a four-wheeler, one on a motorcycle, one in my winter coat, and I don't have to worry about constantly going back and going through it to make sure the food is in date. That's why the food is normally separate. Okay. Now this is a little bitty, teeny, tiny kit. You could probably wear it around your neck. If you want some extra cordage, you can tie it around your neck and wear it inside your shirt. I don't even remember what's in this little one. So we have a whistle. Okay. This open nail, this is a knife. This is an open nail. It's got a regular edge and a serrated edge. It's also got a whistle built into the end for signaling. And you could shine a light on this part and signal. So we have I don't know why the whistle's in there when that knife was in there. So we have that.
See that? Go through your kits.
Yep, go through your kits. I have a headlamp, which is the actual light for seeing what you're doing. I have a ferro rod, okay, and some paracord in a little container. You could use a container for something once you took the paracord out. And an extra large 55-gallon drum garbage bag, okay. Now, this is not a complete kit, but look at the size of it, you know what I'm saying? But other things could be carried with this kit. This is so small that you could actually set up this kit. You could carry this kit and then the winter shelter kit. You could put this in your cargo pocket in your pants, and then you could carry this on your belt. So this kit and this kit, okay, this kit, and one of these, or one of these hanging on your this is a true spec 2-quart canteen. You got this hanging on here, and I honestly believe this stuff is small enough that you might be willing to carry it. Okay, these two kits right here, you might just be willing to carry it. So that is without a doubt a complete kit right there. All right.
You know what's weird about these kits?
What?
I haven't seen any lighter fluid in any of them.
Would
so I got you some. Yeah. There you go.
For our long-time viewers, you would understand why Nick would have that in his kit. Every time he makes an appearance, he has to talk about lighter fluid. All right. Now, one thing I want to say real quick. Look, here's a bite and sting kit. See the size of it? Okay. Oh, it's only good for like bites and stings. Well, compare it to my little first aid kit. All right. Just something to kind of keep in mind of the perception of size. Now, if you were going to be comfortable out in the woods and you were going to spend the night, okay, let's say you would take, you're going to be comfortable, you're going to take a hammock, okay. This is a real nice east tree hammock, real nice, okay. That, you got suspension straps, okay. You're going to have a tarp, okay. So let's look at the bulk of these three items. One thing real quick before we go any further, when you're in the woods, People think survival gear is red, bright red, or orange or yellow. That's wonderful in, like, say, the winter time or possibly the desert. But there's certain times in the woods, especially in the fall, that these are all colors that are occurring in nature. Okay? Blue is the true survival color, because the only place in nature you're going to find blue is probably the ocean. Because when you're out into the forest or the woodlands, there ain't no blue there, and this is going to stand out, and this will be this will be good. So,
Yeah.
now with that said,
Like I'd say maybe put a blue strip of tape on everything that can have a strip of tape on it.
or reflective tape, that would work.
Yeah.
So, let's look at this here now, for example. Okay. Now you see the bulk of this. Well, let's say that if we wanted to sleep off the ground in a survival situation, let's see what we can do to remedy that. Okay? Let's look at this. This is not comfortable, but it'll get you off the ground. So let's take this out of this pack right here. All right. And what this is, you don't need a separate suspension. Okay? This is one of those net hammocks with the rope. The rope's not real. The rope is not real. The rope's not good on the tree bark. This, you know, this harms bark, and a lot of people is against it. And these net hammocks aren't real extremely comfortable. Okay, but this would take the place of this and this. Okay, so you can see the bulk of that is taken over by this. Okay, now, do we want to get rid of the little bag? Okay, well, let's get rid of the little bag. Now, this tarp right here. See the size of this tarp right here? All right. Well, we've got another tarp here that is much, much smaller. Oh, a lot of these smaller tarps, you can take a woman's ponytail holder. You know those elastic ponytail holders? Rubber bands don't last long, especially in the heat of a car, but you can put one of them on there and it'll hold items together good. Ponytail holder. So what I'm going to do here, and this is in a bag, so let's pull this tarp out. Okay. Now this tarp is pre-sewn. This is a rip-stop nylon tarp, and it is pre-sewn with the little grommets on each end. Okay. So let's do this. Let's take this and let's put this hammock in here so that we don't have any bags. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll this up just like that. Okay. Now that we've rolled it up, what we're going to do, are we going to bring a roll of paracord? No, we're not. Okay. Or a roll of bank line? No, we're not. What we're going to do is we're going to carry some cordage here. And what we're going to do is you can take this. There's different ways of wrapping this. You're going to find the center of it. And you're going to lay this on here like this. And pull it tight, just like that. Okay, then once you've got it pulled tight, you can take one end. And there's millions of different ways of wrapping this up. You're going to wrap this up and you're going to compress your kit. Okay. Now this is a very sloppy job, but if you pay more attention to it, you can wrap up your kit and you can make it super tight. So once you get to a certain point, if you tie it right, if you wanted to, you could tie these together and hang it over your shoulder. Okay, so let's finish wrapping this up. Okay, so now you could tie, if you could spend the effort to tie this thing up, this will not be as comfortable as this. But look at the difference in the bulk. Okay, now this, let's take these bags here. These are some neat little ripstop bags by Fox Light Gear, and they're made with things on the end. Okay, both of these little bags right here are made this way. Now this right here, this bag is a little bit bigger than this one. This one's a little bit shorter, but let's see if we can cram this in here. Okay, that'll be our one bag instead of having multiple bags. Alright. Now, remember what I said about a kit being... Now, I've actually compressed this one too much to where I can't zip this thing.
Whoops.
These bags are good. Put your teeth and hold one end. Now see, I've got a big knot right here where I'm going to have to massage this thing. I'm getting part of the tarp stuck in it.
We're gonna have to dub the Jeopardy music over this.
I'll get it. I mean, see, this goes to show you that this is just about as compressed as you can get. All right, pull it together. There you go. Now, there it is. Okay, see, now this right here. Now, as a matter of fact, there's room in the end right here. I could have put more in there. I could have put a multi-tool in there if I didn't want to wear it on my belt. Now, the thing about this is, remember what I said? When you're out hiking around, okay, I'm going to take this just a common bag strap and put it on. That if things weigh too much or if they're too bulky, you're not going to carry them. So look at that.
Mm-hmm.
See that right there? You can either carry it on your side as a pocketbook, or you can carry it on your back just like that right there.
Yeah. And the shape of that reminded me, you could just use any old pencil pouch you have laying around too.
Yeah, you probably could. Or if you had the right kind of belt, you could just put it right there on your fanny pack right there, just like that. So,
yep.
All right. So that is another idea. Is think about reducing and compressing your gear. Okay, see the difference in those? No, this hammock is not very, very comfortable, but it is. It's a different situation. And say that thing right there, there's actually, like I said, there's room in the end for a first aid kit and maybe a few other items. All right. So now another thing that you can do is you can take a cup and you can stuff it full of gear, and you can put it into any of these pouches like this. Okay. This is handy because it's so small. This is a way of boiling water and a way of carrying water. And this might be Swiss Army, I think. But that's the smallest cup in Canteen that I have ever seen. Okay. Now, a lot of this stuff's kind of random, but like I said, this is some of the things that I've just sort of thrown on here. Okay. Now, in a kit, okay, this thing, this easily fits in a cargo pocket of your pants, and it doesn't weigh much. Now, I'm always wearing cargo pants and boots and a long sleeve shirt. That's just me. Okay. So, I've usually, Nick and I keep these in our kayaks, and so bugs, mosquitoes, okay, biting insects drive you crazy. They'll make a bad situation worse. You're already starving. You already may be thirsty. You know, you don't feel good. Why get ate up with bugs? Okay. So what are you going to do? You're going to carry something like this right here that's going to run out. Something like this that you have to spray all over you, and it maybe gets into your eyes. It's a much better option to carry something like this. Now, this is made by Grabber Outdoors, and unfortunately they quit making them, but I'm sure there's other people that make them. But in this pouch, what I have is I have a pair of gloves, and these are special. These are archer's gloves, I think. These are the kind that you wear that they have like mesh on the back so that they're not too hot. You could wear these in the summertime. And then inside here, I have a hat that unfolds, and it has a net on it. So, if I get into a bad situation and I am stuck somewheres, I have on boots, I have on long pants, because I don't wear sandals, I don't wear flip-flops, and I don't wear shorts. So if I was in a bad situation and I wound up with nothing and I had to spend the night, I had to lean against a tree and spend the night, I could lean against a tree just like this, because I'm covered up. Nothing's going to bite me. I could lean just like that and sleep, and nothing's going to bother me. I don't have to worry about spiders, ticks, mosquitoes, any kind of insects. Okay, so that's something else to think about, and I'm sorry that they don't make these anymore, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some substitutions out there of some kind of a folding hat. And if you've got room in there, throw in a pair of gloves. Okay, now your typical bushcraft shelter. Okay, let's say that you got a tarp and you're going to want a wool blanket. Look at the bulk of that. Look at the bulk of that compared to the kits that we were looking at a minute ago. So,
oof.
That's what I say. So let's look at this. Okay, you got a little bit more of a smaller tarp here. Still, it's not small enough. And all it is a tarp. So let's start looking into these now. These are GI ponchos. Okay, a poncho is fantastic because, and this one, let's see, they still sell this one. Okay, this is made by Fire Force Tactical Gear, made in the USA. Okay, this is Marpat. Okay, it's a great poncho. This one, years ago, True Spec was a separate company from Atlantico, and back when Atlantico was by itself, they made this poncho, and this is the most heavy-duty poncho I've ever seen in my life. It's got this thick coating on the inside. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. And so this thing, if it's raining, you can wear a poncho in the rain. Okay, you open it up. It's a huge piece of material with a hood. Okay, I love ponchos. If they're raining, you can wear one of these. Okay. Now the other thing you can do is if you're cold, you can take a blanket. Now this is leading up to something. Okay. If you're cold, because this also leads me into the statement of a lot of people when they go out for a hike, they don't wear a jacket or they don't carry a jacket because they'll get hot and sweaty because they're hiking. Well, next thing you know, you get lost during a survival situation and you wished you had some sort of insulation. Okay, so let's say this blanket, I get cold, I have to spend the night up against a tree. I can either use this as a shelter or I can put this on over my blanket just like that. Okay, and I'm protected from the wind, the rain, and I have insulation. Now, how are you going to carry that? Okay, you can even take this blanket. You can wrap it around your head if you don't have a hat. Let's see how we can do this before I put the poncho on. So I can wrap this thing around my head just like that. Wrap it around my shoulders, put the poncho on, and now my head is protected from getting too cold. Now, how do you do this? Okay, let me move these. These are big old heavy duty tarps. I don't even know why they were out. Because I've lost my train of thought when it comes to that. So let's look at this. Let's take this blanket. Let's lay a poncho in there. Okay, now that's what I just showed you. Okay, you got a poncho here. Okay, all right, you got a poncho here. So here's your shelter and your insulation. You're protected from the rain and the snow and the cold and the wind. Okay, let's throw a few other items in here that might just make us comfortable. How about that? Look at all this stuff. Look at all these things I'm putting in here. Look at all this stuff. All right, let's put some more stuff in here. How about this?
Sure is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, look at all these items right here that I put in here now. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this. Let's just roll this over. Let's see if we can roll it over.
Yep.
This isn't easy. All right, let's roll that over. Like this. Let's roll it over again, just like that. This is more of a larger type survival kit. Let's roll this over again. Okay, we're using this twisting motion. All right, now what am I going to do with this? Okay, can I pick this up? Can I pick this up? This is a Cody Lundeen trick. Can I pick this up and press it against my back and tie it off? Now this is
Oh, if it works, it works.
yeah, it works, and it's this is not a mini survival kit, but I'm telling you, when you do this, okay, you're hiking, you're not going to get hot because you're not wearing a jacket. Okay, and you're hiking. And look at the amount of stuff that you can carry in here. Okay? So that's another good way of carrying your survival kit. Because I put a mountain of gear in there. Okay? So that's another thing. That's an old Cody Lundeen trick I want to show. Look at the size of that tarp. Okay. A lot of times, tarps that come in bags, they can be compressed down even further. Okay. Now, what does a tarp do? A tarp will protect you from the wind and the rain. Well, what else also does that besides a poncho, but a rain suit? See the size of this rain suit right here? It's the actual jacket with the hood with the pants. Now, what you can do with that is take that out of the package. Now, I keep this in the boat, just in the package like this, but you could take the pants and put them in this cargo pocket and put the jacket in this cargo pocket, and it would kind of balance out the weight of as you're walking. And so that right there, if it was raining, that could save your life in a bad situation. So that's another thing. Now, I did a video one time on vest. Okay, this could be a survival kit. Okay, you got a vest right here. All right, hunting vest. It's got pockets on the front. On the back, you've got what's called a game pouch. You could put massive amounts of things inside here. Okay, you could take, you know, all of the stuff. You could put that tarp in there. You know, put in this. You know, let's take let's say, where's it? Let's take a canteen. Put a canteen in there. And the thing
grab
is,
the percolator, throw it in.
Yeah, put the coffee percolator in. You can have massive, and you can sew this thing up across the top, or you could sew it across the sides to where this is the only opening. And see, the thing is this is something that you would keep in your truck for if you break down and you're like, let me think. I think I can walk through the woods and get to the road that way, or whatever, you know. Or if you're on a dirt road and you got to walk through a dirt road, you have this in the back of your truck. This is something that you'll carry. Okay. Now, to the other extreme, and this is extreme. This is going to blow your mind. What I'm fixing to show you is this is a survival jacket. Now, these military jackets, okay, this is not a beautiful camouflage. This is Swiss alpenflage, but this is a very, very, very thick cotton. Okay, this just happens to have dual pockets, single pocket, a huge pocket, another huge pocket, two pockets here, and a pocket here, and a pocket on the side, and a hood. Okay, so let's say that you kept this somewheres, in a truck, in a Jeep, on your it's crammed in your boat, whatever. Okay, so I'm broke down. I got to walk to find help. Okay. These old military jackets have all these pockets. I'm just going to prove a point. I'm not going to go through all this gear, but I want you to watch. Okay, we got a nice spot right here. Okay.
Oh boy.
In this pocket.
Fixing to be a lot of clutter right here.
Yeah. In this pocket, okay, there's an inflatable mat with an inflatable pillow. In here, we have a quick dry towel. We have a canteen. With a cup. There's a canteen with a cup. Okay. All right. What all do we have in here? We got those both done. All right. Let's go up here and take a look at this pocket. What do we have in here? We have cordage for shelter. We have a knife. We have a multi-tool. Okay, that's in the top pocket. Let's go to these dual pockets. Okay. Now, nobody has to copy the things that I do, but this is to give you ideas. Okay. We have a survival tin. We have a headlamp which is turned on.
That's good.
That's good. A headlamp which is turned on.
Maybe throw some batteries in there.
We have a flashlight. What is this in here? Oh, it's a dual pocket. We've got all kinds of junk in here. We got carabiners. We got a mag bar. We got some of those British survival matches. We've got another survival tin. What do we got in this other pocket? We've got two more survival tins, maybe a fishing kit, first aid kit, fire kit. And see, that's just the front pockets. Now let's look on the side pockets.
I don't think there's enough space on this table.
We have a rain jacket, okay, because this is cotton. This is not waterproof. So we have that in here. Let's, I think there's a sleeve here. There's a pocket right here. So what do we have here? We have one of those survival braces. People that think they can survive with just that. We have another survival tin. What do we have in here? This is a millbank bag. You hang it up, you put the water in, and the water pre-filters itself. Okay, so we have a Millbank bag. Now let's look, what do we have in the back pockets?
All right.
All right, what do we have here? We have more cordage.
Terrific.
Okay. Have a sleeping bag.
Wow.
We have a tarp.
Incredible.
We have, what is this? Okay, I don't know what this is.
Where's the lighter fluid?
No, the lighter fluid's over there. Now, see all that right there? All that. That's the basic idea. All this was in a jacket. Now that is about as close to camping as you can get. Okay, but that's something, I mean, look at the amount of gear. And you could pretty much carry anything you wanted to live off, you know, as long as you wanted to.
That's just a jacket. Imagine where you could fit in the cargo pants too.
Exactly. And the cargo pants, you could have them full of the bags of nuts and dried fruit and things. And I mean, that's something else to think about. Put together something like this. Okay. But this is the case. This is a survival kit that I keep in my truck, or I used to. I've gone through it and changed it recently. But the way it's designed is this thing is designed, it's got a pouch here in the front. Okay. So you can have like a mini kit in here. Alright. You have, I think that's a paracord, that's a seat, a camo seat. You got that in that pocket. And then in this pocket, you got more cordage, a whole bunch of cordage right there. Okay. Now the idea behind this is the way it's designed is you've got a container up here, and then you've got a container here, and then you've got a container here, and then you've got a long container here. And see, all of this, and you could either carry water into these containers or you can carry other things in them. But anyway, that is this container here, okay? And you can wear that on your belt, or you could get an H harness and wear it on a harness like that. Okay, so Morris Kohansky was of the opinion, and I thought it was a great idea, that you could take a percolator. Look at that, the top came out of it. He's like, you could take a percolator and pull this out, and you could use a percolator and you could stuff everything you wanted inside here. You could stuff in a down vest. You could stuff in the contents of a survival shelter, put in a knife, put in a bunch of paracord, and you could carry that. Now that is a good idea. That's a neat idea right there, but the only thing is, in my opinion, with this is if you go this route, when you go on a hike or hike away from a camp, are you going to be carrying this the whole time? I don't think you will. I don't think you will. I think you'll leave it at home. Or if you tie it to a string, are you going to walk around with it banging around behind you?
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, it's a neat, compact idea, and I give him credit for that. But I didn't understand how you were supposed to carry it. I mean, are you supposed to just carry it by hand? But the beauty of it is you've got a container for boiling water. Okay? That's pretty good.
Might be extra storage hanging off a pack.
Yeah, it could be.
It's extended out from you.
Could be. Now these things right here, what these are Orca water bottles, and I have absolutely fell in love with these things. And because what you can do with them is that you can put some sort of a kit right in here, and then in here you can put a 2-liter water. Now these are great for like desert survival, because in some of these other cases, you know, you can boil water, you can purify water, you can filter water with a filter, but in some places like in the desert, there just ain't no water there. So what you can do in a situation like this is have your little kit right here and have some kit in here. When you go for a day hike, it's got a very, very comfortable strap. You put this on and you swing it around behind you. And you don't even know you have it. It's fantastic. Okay. Now, it makes me kind of angry, the Orca company, because when you order these things, sometimes they'll send you one that's got a pouch and a zip on the top and nothing on the bottom, and then sometimes they'll send you one that's got an extra place on the bottom. Now, why they do that, I don't know. I have no idea, but that kind of infuriates me. I mean, they should stick with one product, and they shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. Now, if you want to, you can remove the strap, and you can use, because they have molly webbing on them that you can snap onto things. But these things ain't real high. They're pretty good. This is a smaller version. This is not Orca. I don't know who makes it. And the thing is in this kit is what I carry. this is for camping and bushcrafting and stuff. I carry, it's a pretty tight fit. Instead of carrying a water bottle, what I carry in here is a cup. And the thing is with this, you can make coffee or soup or whatever, or boil hot water, and then you can make like soup and coffee. Well, the idea is, in a survival situation, leave that stuff out and just take this container and stuff this full of survival components, because that cup, you might be like, well, how much can you get into a cup? Well, the thing is the contents of this cup is a lot bigger than this thing. So once again, so anyway, that's something else right there. That could be a survival kit right there. Now, this thing right here, I showed this recently, and this is a really cool idea because you can carry on this. You don't have to worry. This is a 1-unit carry. This is what I call a grab and go bag, and it's what I'm saying is about the convenience of, you know, some of these other ideas. Do I want to put all this junk in my cargo pockets, and do I want to strap this thing around me? Do I want to hook this to my belt? Well, with this can be like a kit that you can just, you grab it on and you go. And I'm pretty sure you can put a complete kit in here. Okay. And then on the outside, not only on the outside do you have a knife and a saw, but there's a pouch behind it that you can fill up. And then on the bottom, there's a place that you can put a big old tin that in itself is already bigger than these stupid things that people are insisting on carrying. Now, when it comes to the water part of it, okay, let's look inside. What I have for my bushcrafting and camping, I have a 2-liter bottle. Well, let's pull that out. Instead of a 2-liter bottle, you don't need that much water. How about this? Let's carry a smaller one. Got plenty of room in here, so let's try this. I got a tarp here that's going to be my shelter. Now, how am I going to incorporate my shelter with this? Okay. First off, get rid of this bag. Now, what this is a fantastic tarp because it's got a silver inside and a black outside, and I've added all of these hooks and elastic things, so I can rig this tarp up as a shelter, and I won't need any cordage because I've got all this stuff. If I have to, I can take all these things and I can hook them around trees. You know, I can put it around a tree like that and hook it on. Or I can stab a stake in the ground and hook this around a stake that I have carved out. So, how am I going to carry this as part of my shelter? Alright, well, let's do this. Now, like I say, this thing right here, this is just some no-name tarp that a photographer would use. A photographer would use for, you know, reflecting light off the background. Better yet than just carrying this, let's carry this. This is brand new, never used. This is a Stanley. It's a thermos, but you can screw it apart, and you've got a cup for boiling water, and then you got a cup for drinking out of. Okay. Now you could fill the inside of this up. You can't. It'd be hard to put survival components in there, but you could put survival components in here for a wintertime type situation. Unless it was a desert, then you could carry water. So let's take this and let's fill up that extra space. So now what I have done is I have an effective way of carrying my shelter. Let's see if this will fit in. Let's cram this in. How about that? Let's see if we can get it zipped up. You have to use a lot more care than what I'm doing because I'm just kind of zooming through here. Now I could have used a lot more care with cramming that in. Let's put this in here. So now what I've done is I've got, either way I've got a water vessel, whether I carry this one or this one. What it is I have a stainless steel vessel in there. Okay. And inside this little pouch I can have my first aid kit, I can have a fire kit, a ferro rod, whatever. I've got my saw, I've got my knife. Now, unlike this other kit, okay, I love Morris Kohansky and I respect him greatly, but this was a good idea that he had, but carrying it would bother me. But see, with this kit, what I can do now is I can throw this over here, and I can hang it off my back right there, and I won't even know it's there. So there you have that.
Like I said, the perk container is probably most effective hanging off a backpack.
Yeah, that's it. That probably is. And another thing you could do is you could actually make a cloth bag for this, and that'd be a great idea too. You know, but for most people, you know, you can just buy one of these bags and you're good to go. You know, a couple of other odds and ends here. These things right here these are butt packs, or some of them are called fanny packs, some of them are called waist packs. Now this thing right here, you can see the size of this. This is probably going to be your most popular carry. It's going to be a civilian fanny pack or a butt pack. And the beauty of these things right here is any of these butt packs or backpacks like this right here is when you're going into camp, you're going to have your backpack on. And when you're wearing your backpack, this will be under your backpack. Okay, so you're going to be carrying this with you. And when you get to camp, you're going to have your backpack and all of your main gear, and you're going to set up your tent, your sleeping bag, and everything. And then when you go leaving camp looking for a cave or a lake or whatever, you've already got your survival kit that you were wearing anyway, so you just grab this. Okay. Now, the way these butt packs are, these are the ones that Nick and I like to carry the most. And these are woodland camo. And these woodland camo ones, what you do is you buy them separately, and they're sold under all different kind of names. And they are, let me think, they're called enhanced nylon GI butt pack. Okay. Now normally you're going to buy a butt pack, and then you're going to buy a pistol belt. Okay. And the way they work, me and Nick love to put them on. We like to put them on, like I said, just like before, and you can put them on. And then you've got them back here, and then you can put your backpack on, and it'll be up above it, so you won't even realize you're carrying it. And you can also carry a canteen, because it's got the Alice clips. You can carry that right here, because you've got a canteen and a cup and the water in there. Okay, so they sell these in all different colors. We've got the woodland camo. They sell black. They sell olive drab. Now this olive drab one and this black one right here, not only have you got the GI pistol belt, but you can also buy suspenders for them. Okay. Now the suspenders make them even more comfortable to carry more weight. See, and you can carry that weight right there and put that on there just like that. See, and you can have all kinds of things put in there, and it's very, very extremely comfortable. Okay. Now another thing you can do that I found recently, and I don't know the name of them. These things here, we bought 2 of these, and they come with a belt. And they were on Amazon for $8 each, and it's some sort of an ACU waist pack, and or I don't know if it's a waist pack or a butt pack, but these were cheap, and they're very heavy duty, very, very heavy duty. And like I said, it already comes with a belt. That's another good carry right there. That's something good you could keep in the back of your truck or your kayak or strapped on your ATV as a survival kit. Here's another hidden Woodsman one. If you wanted to, you could carry it just like a man purse or a haversack. And the beauty of this one is it's got this massive piece of Velcro on here, and this is limitless, the opportunities having that Velcro on there. So that's another kit right there. This thing right here is called, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called a deployment bag. Okay. Now the beauty of this thing is let's see, you could carry. It's got a zipper pouch here. Okay. It's got a zipper pouch here. It's got zipper pouches on each side right here, and then it's got MOLLE webbing all around the outside. Then you could put your poncho on top and strap it on like this. Now it's got MOLLE webbing on the back. So what I did is I put a waist belt on it. And this is an incredible waist pack with all the little compartments. And this is another wonderful one that you can wear while you're wearing your backpack. See right here? So when I go to camp, I've got my regular pack with all this stuff on it. And not only can you wear this, but it'll help support your backpack too. You'll wear it under here. So when I get to camp, I'm going to take my pack off, going to set my camp up, my tent, my sleeping bag and everything. And then this will be my complete survival kit. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to set it right over by the tree. And every time when I go to leave, there you have it. There's my survival kit. I'll be willing to pick that up and put it on and wear it with me. Right? Now this is another idea. That's another belt you could wear. You could put through that, but it doesn't have the padding. Now another idea that somebody gave me is with these things right here, this is one of those new modern packs, little bitty packs that everybody's carrying. And it doesn't carry much. It doesn't, you can't put a whole lot in it. But one of the ideas behind this is that you could wear this with some gear in it. Okay? And then you could take a sling bag and put survival gear in it and wear it on the front. Okay? So you've got your bushcrafting camping type gear in the back. And then you've got a survival kit here in the front. And when you're hiking, this also balances out the weight of the front and the back. So when you get to camp, take this off. Okay, you've got all of your lightweight, ultralight backpacking gear in that pack. And then when you go to hike away from a camp, you just reach over by that tree and you grab that bag right there and there's your sling bag. Just like that. Not a big deal. Grab it, throw it on, just like that one. Okay. That's the idea. Is you've got to have it. You got to make your survival kits to where you're willing to carry them. Because if you're not willing to carry them, they're going to get left behind, and you're going to die. Okay. So that's about it. My throat's gone, so the video's pretty much done. You can see all the gear here. I hope you learned some stuff from this. I hope you picked up some things from this. That's pretty much, those kits are completely covered up. So, any comments, put them in the comment section. I'll get to them eventually. Any input you had. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. I packed in as much as I possibly could. Copy some of these kits, get ideas from them. And anything you want to add, Nick?
No.
Sounds good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Don't forget the lighter fluid.
Yep.
All right, well, I had fun. This was great, and it's going to take me a month to clean all this stuff up. So we shall see you in the next one.
See you later.